All right, cool. Hey everyone, Professor Wrestling here, wishing you all the best over this sort of winter break. I wanted to start fixing the AEW merch, and then it made me think about the roster, and then the roster was bloated, and then we want to talk about live attendance, and then it comes back to the roster again and drawing. So it just became we got to fix the roster. And I figured the best way to do this is with a tier list. And since this is ranking every member of the AEW roster in a tier list right before they head over to Max, we might get some new people. So for that, I want to say, hey class, welcome. You're going to learn a lot about wrestling today. You're going to learn a lot about rosters, and you're going to learn a lot about AEW. I'm not an AEW expert or historian. I'm a professor of professional wrestling, and we're going to use AEW as an example of how to make a tremendously profitable business. So going over the tiers before we get fully into it, you're going to see this number 15 on our tier list. That is cap. This gives us a total of 75 members of the AEW roster. That is more than there are X-Men. That is more than there have been MCU heroes and villains. It's more than most fighting games. 75 is plenty. It's enough to have a full 30-man men's and 30-man women's Royal Rumble, and then still have 15 people for float. 75 is tons. Staff is people that are not rostered talent. So what I mean by that is, in my last video, we talked about contracts. So this is people that wouldn't be on rostered contracts, but it's also people that work for the company. Refs, coaches, off-screen or on-screen talent that isn't wrestlers. That's your staff. They're necessary, they're great, but they're not technically wrestlers. And then bottom here is future endeavors. No shade to anyone that is put in this category. We have limits. And as we start to explore these limits, we're going to have to pick why we're future endeavoring people. And if you disagree with anybody I've tiered, I want you to understand that I'm a professor of wrestling and you're some nobody, but feel free to challenge me in the comments. I mean, that's what they're for. You can be wrong there too. So, all right, we're done with all the shit. Let's just go. Okay, starting off, Aaron Solo. He doesn't pass the silhouette test. He looks kind of like a guy, I don't know, D tier. He seems fine. Abaddon. Okay, I love spooky wrestlers. I love that she has a great look. This is total B tier. B tier wrestlers, you can put a mid-card title on. You can put them in a faction. You can give them TV time. They're not going to hurt your brand. They might draw some eyeballs to it. D tier, I don't know. They can be around. Every roster has some Brooklyn brawlers. And we have an Aaron Solo. So, okay, Action Andretti. First name, last name, normal looking guy. There's nothing striking about him. It's D tier. Adam Cole. Okay, Edge. Okay, this is, all right. We're going to get controversial right away. Everyone's going to say Adam Copeland, Edge. That's S tier. That's a world title. He is old. He is beat up. And the way AEW is using him as like a featured character to do storylines as a main eventer holding his own, he's C. Like, he's got name recognition, he's got look, he's got star power, but he's too old, he's too beat up, and there's not a whole lot you can do with Edge. It's total C tier. You want to move Edge to more of like a mentor role or a faction leader type, and give him in like Obi-Wan kind of situation. Total A, maybe even S, but right now, C tier. All right, Adam Page, S tier. He burned a guy's house down. Adam Page is awesome. Head of the Elite, face of AEW, one of its longest running champions as far as like, not the title holding, although he did do that, but I meant like for the cause. Like, he's a flag bearer for the brand. He's been there since day one. Adam Page has all of it. Total S tier. S tier is your main event, world title. Put a title on that guy tomorrow. Put him in the main event tomorrow. Everyone loves Adam Page. S tier. All right, Alex Amfrades, staff. Adam Cole, B. Okay, I don't know a whole lot about Adam Cole. I know Adam Cole Bebe. He's got a jacket. That's B tier, right? When we start to fill this out, you're going to start to see the tier requirements is limited at B and C and D, but okay. Alex Reynolds, again, jacket. He's got a jacket. He's wearing it. C tier. All right. Staff, Alicia Shoutout, Staff, and Helico Staff. And Helico is one of the first great sadnesses. This guy was an absolute legend in Lucha Underground. He has done a lot of cool stuff. He's an amazing luchador. And they have relegated him to the Spanish announce table. I hope that's where he wants to be as a person, because it's a gross squandering of his talent if that's just what they're deciding to do. Anthony Bowens. Who is this guy? Who's Anthony Bowens? Oh, he's half of the Acclaimed. Oh, he's Max Caster's heavy. C tier. Anna Jay, total B tier. So I don't know a whole lot, again, about everyone in the roster. Anna Jay, I've heard about. Anna Jay has a name that sounds good, looks good. Total B tier. And we're going to start to move this out. We got a lot of guys to get through. Anthony Adobo. C. Okay, look. He's not just first name, last name standing there. He's got his arm is up. He's got like a fist. He's doing some stuff. He's got all these white titling around him that the compression has absolutely nuked. But it doesn't matter. So, whatever. Angelo Parker. Look at him. How is this guy not this guy? How are these two guys not the same guy? Like, at a glance. The fuck? Yeah, the D tier, whatever. They can wrestle. I don't care. Staff. Athena, S tier. Athena, if you don't know, used to be a WWE World Women's Champion. She has an amazing ring entrance. She, I believe, was an AEW Women's Champion, although I might be wrong on that one. She is primetime ready for action figures, and they have her stuffed in ROH because they're terrible at character building and story writing. It is the thing killing this company, but she is S tier all day. Athena's great. AR Fox. Okay, look. All right, look. He's got like garb on. He's doing like a thing. That's C tier. That's C tier all day. Aubrey Edwards. Okay. Aubrey Edwards is honorary B. And here's what I mean by that. She's not just a wrestler, a ref, which, like, okay, this guy, that's ref. That guy, he's ref. These are refs, right? Aubrey Edwards is the host of their podcast. She's known as being like the first like notable lady ref. And at that point, you're ascending out of just being staff into like being something a little more. And she's actively doing stuff to be more. So that's real B tier. She's helping out the brand. She's building the company. Aubrey Edwards, B tier. I don't know who this guy is. Austin Quinn. Now, we have three guys who have their arms crossed. But one of these is not like the other. That's right. He's got like a blue, like a headband. That's total C tier, right? Look at him. He's got like a thing going on. He's great. Big Bill. It's the generic name, generic face. Standing there. His name's Big Bill. I don't know. Okay, conversely, Bandito. Right? What's different about him? He's got a cool luchador mask. That's B tier. Because I love luchadors and spooky wrestlers. And am I biased? This is my tier list. It's also correct. Because I have Professor in my name and you don't. And I'm sorry. This is daddy ass Billy Gunn. Okay, he's B. Now, we talked a little about Edge, right? Being older, past his prime, not a lot of gas in the tank, just using him to do stuff. Billy Gunn has been teamed up with the Acclaim, so we'll move Anthony up here into B tier, as like a way to sort of give his star power to the next generation. Like he's helping them get a little more screen time. He's helping give them a little bit more clout, the rub, as they call it in the business. But he's using what gas he has in the tank to sort of light their fires, and it's going great when it was going amazing, but that's a total B tier player. He doesn't have bad matches. I can't recall ever seeing a bad Billy Gunn match. I don't know why he never got more popular. Oh, all of his gimmicks are like, he's not serious as a wrestler. So he's like, that's like B tier stuff. To go from B to A, you have to cross into seriousness. A tier wrestlers are semi-serious, serious. S tiers are world title main eventers. So like, okay, Bishop Khan. Great look. Never heard anything about him. He's staying in C tier. Look, dreadlocks, tattoos, arm guys, beard. He's doing all this stuff. It's setting him apart. He doesn't look like a generic create a wrestler template. Staff, Bobby Lashley. You know what? Okay, Bobby Lashley is getting a little old. But as it stands, he's total A-tier talent. He can still go. He still looks good. He's got a cool faction he's with called the Hurt Squad, the Punch Boys, the Hurt Syndicate, which sounds great. And as we get into this, you're going to hear more about like why factions can be good or bad. But they're brand new. They still have some heat. And if they do something, that's going to be cool. That's A-tier stuff you can build into S-tier angles. So yeah, Bobby's total A-tier. Brandon Cutler, first name, last name, beard, staying in there. All right, Brian Cage. Brian Cage is A. Dude's jacked as fuck. I saw him claw a guy with a Wolverine claw. He's super hella jacked, and he's very muscular. He's been with AEW for a while, and he currently is holding an ROH title. So, yeah, that's A-tier stuff. Dr. Britt Baker. Cool gimmick, great character work. Her name's alliterative, so it's catchy. Britt Baker, DMD. It sounds fun to say. That's S-tier stuff. It also, former women's champion, face of AEW women's wrestling for years. A couple of years. There's not a lot of years in this company, but she's a central character in it for a long time. So she S-tier stuff. She's great. People love her. She's got a lot of action figures. Britt Baker's great. Brody King. I don't think I've ever seen a Brody King match, but he looks cool. Look, he's got like arm guys. He's like a vest. He's got a pose. He's not just standing there. You know how sometimes guys are just like standing there. I just, we're doing stuff. I like him. Okay. Bounty Hunter Brian Keith. All right. So he's got a cowboy gimmick. He was really big on the indies. He wrestled in the Northwest, which is where I know him from. And that seems to me like, okay, so we have Bandit Brian Keith, we have Bandito, we got Adam Page, who's like a cowboy, and we're starting to like, maybe there's a faction here. Maybe there's a feud here. Maybe there's like a theme here. Maybe we can get these guys together and like let them cook and get them to do something. But right now, cool gimmick, neat dude, stands apart, looks interesting. Buddy Matthews. I have seen him wrestle exactly once. He's jacked as fuck and he looks cool as hell. And he's look at him, he's got like a thing. And he's like standing. And look at these guys, they all are doing something. And look at these guys, they're all just, man. So, some staff. All right. Chris Jericho, A-tier all day, baby. Jericho gets it. He gets what AEW is trying to do. It's trying to be the hot new promotion for the next generation. Jericho, in his actions, has been more than willing to showcase new talent, put new guys over, help them shine, and not hog spotlight. It gets easy for a guy like Jericho to Hulk Hogan his way into the main title, but like even when he was in WWE, Jericho's best work was in that mid to upper mid card area. He's serious enough he can be a world title contender, but he's fun enough that he can go into the mid card and have a lot of like goofy stuff, and he's great. Jericho's great. In AEW, he is not an S-tier main eventer. Let's change this here. Let's do this. We'll change this to world title to sort of set that apart, right? You don't put the world title on Chris Jericho anymore. Like, he had one run with it to give it some legitimacy, but you keep him out of that picture. He can always be around it. Jericho's awesome. No. Christian Cage, same vibe, but I'm going to move Christian down to C, and here's why. The kill switch is a terrible finisher, and in my humble opinion as a professor of wrestling, it has fucked up his career. He has done a lot of great things. He is incredibly popular with internet fans everywhere he goes. His character work is amazing. His ring work is amazing. He's got good looks. He's able to draft storylines almost independently of wherever he is. Christian's a super high valuable ad. And unlike Edge, who's being used kind of like a solo guy, Christian's been given this faction. That's B tier. But the kill switch, it just never feels right. Every time the kill switch ends a match, it always takes all the steam out of what they were building to. It never feels like like a last ride being an exclamation point to like a long plodding fight, like a Tombstone or a Last Ride can be. And conversely, it doesn't like come out of nowhere like an RKO or a Code Breaker. It's just not good. It's the least interesting thing he does. And the worst part, and this is why I think it's hurt him, is it's the outside of your gimmick and your personality. Wrestlers get known for their finishers, and it's a bad finisher that sort of sours people on Christian. And that sucks. Like, it's a general audience souring that I'm not here to be like, if you're on AEW Twitter or X or whatever, like you're mad about it. But all right, that's enough. That's enough talking about Christian. It's just like, give him a new finisher. That's A tier. All day, that's A tier. Cash Wheeler, FTR. I keep hearing that they're the best tag team. So yeah, I'll put him A. Right on. I don't know if Chuck Taylor is staff or not, but I'm going to put him in staff. Because look, it's where he fits, right? Look at him. They all got little suits on and glasses. And look, they look all, he's a guy. If he's not supposed to be there, then I don't know where he is supposed to be. Colton Gunn. Well, he has like a arm thing. Yeah, that's something. Okay. Claudio Castagnoli. A tier. Claudio, you may remember him from WWE. I don't believe it was Claudio Castagnoli in WWE. Oh, I'm going to get raked over the coals for forgetting his WWE name, but it doesn't really matter. He had the big swing. I'm trying to remember it myself. It's not happening. He was in We the People. He's good. His promos and character work are never great. All of his matches are awesome. He's like a Lance Storm, but he's a little bit beefier. So we like our Claudio. It's good, it's great, serious near main eventer. Colt Cabana. Okay, I'm gonna catch some flack for this. I am not a big CM Punk fan, for those of you that know the drama. Like, this isn't Punk related. Colt has been in a bajillion indies and a majillion he's been given a trillion chances. And for whatever reason, Boom Boom Colt Cabana has never really resonated. I am not in charge of knowing why that is. I would have to see more Colt response when he does stuff. If I'm being honest, he's not wacky in a way that is like fun for the audience to also be wacky with. It seems like he's wacky in a way that like he goes, if I'm wacky enough, you'll like me. Like the kid who kept interrupting class to tell jokes that not a lot of people thought was funny. Like, that's the kind of like Colt Cabana-y vibe I get. Again, I don't have a ton of Colt Cabana experience. I'm not trying to hurt the guy's feeling. I'm just riffing. These are just first impressions, general sort of accoutrements about his character, and a rough theory on why it's maybe never resonated. So it's D tier. Good hand. It's nice to have around. I don't know why he's not more popular. Conversely, Danhausen. You know what? This is a world title character. Here's the thing. Danhausen is goofy. He's very stupid and goofy and fun and wonderful and spooky in all the ways wrestlers should be. And I watched a documentary by Mr. Hartgrave from Parts Unknown about Danhausen. I'll link it in the description. But what's interesting is he cracked a theory that there is lore to Danhausen and that there is a second, far more sinister, more occult, terrible side of Danhausen. If that's true, this is a world title character. It fits in with modern, YouTube lore dump stuff. He sells a fuck pile of merch. He's got great character work. He's one of the only wrestlers I've ever seen to give out of character interviews as Donovan Danhausen, which is game changing for the industry. He looks like $1 bajillion. He passes the silhouette test. Like, I don't know what else you want me to say about Danhausen. But if he's just very nice, like if he's a goofy, spooky wrestler, he's B tier. But I think he has that sinister side, which totally puts him in world title contention in all the right ways. Danhausen all day. All right, Bryan Danielson, Daniel Bryan, American Dragon. I don't need to explain that one. Daniel Garcia. I hear so much stuff about Daniel Garcia. I hear a ton of stuff about him, so he's great. Dante Martin. Yeah, I don't know. Darby Allin, S tier. Darby Allin is AEW. Like, in the way AEW pushes itself as a brand, Darby Allin is that. Young, vivacious, different, energetic, exhilarating, cool. Darby is all of it. Darby oozes AEW's desire to try new things and be different and be forward thinking while being younger and hotter and more interesting. Darby Allin should be in the world title picture at all times. It is a absolute travesty that he isn't. And I think it's honestly because every promo he cuts is about how he gets beat up and not about how his opponent can't hurt him, which is like sort of would be the move I would go with. But yeah, Darby Allin, world title. Jack Perry. Jack Perry's C tier. Jack Perry's almost future endeavored because he cost them CM Punk, which, drama and bias aside, CM Punk was a big draw that drew a lot of business. And if you're the guy that causes him to have to leave the company, like, you hurt AEW, and that shit is almost unforgivable. So that should be future endeavor. Other side of this coin, his character work is fucking top notch. The scapegoat gimmick is over. He looks cool as fuck. He needs exactly 1 to 2 storylines to like move that along. I would love to see more Jack Perry do something interesting, and then we could rocket him up to the card because he has all the tools. He just doesn't have like the path. So I'd like to see that path work kind of, maybe hammered out a little bit. So that's, give me some more Jack Perry, I suppose. Okay. I don't know who he is. What is this guy? Darius Martin. Yeah, I mean, Dante, Darius. These guys a tag team? I don't care. Dax Hardwood, part of FTR. Allegedly the best tag team in the world. I don't know. Ooh, Dralistico. Look at this guy. He looks cool as hell. He's a cool luchador. Probably does a lot of flips. We love that. Diamante, B tier. Lady wrestler, looking different. Doesn't seem generic. Dustin Rhodes. Okay. Again, I'm going to catch some flack here. He's a little older. He's bringing in legacy viewers on the grounds that like, hey, it's Goldust, right? Like, that's why Dustin Rhodes is here, but he's still just Dustin. Like, I don't know. I don't know. He's got some ROH tag titles. He has a cool looking gimmick. He's got a little bit of name recognition. That's all fine. Dutch, D for Dutch. Jim Ross, by God, he is broken in half. Jim Ross is one of the most legendary commentators in wrestling. He's cool talent. He's great. It's good to have on staff. I think you can be successful without JR. I don't know how much he's adding to the value of the product like an Aubrey Edwards does. But like, that might just mean that we'll leave him in staff, but like, he's good staff. Like, whatever he's getting paid is worth it. Eddie Kingston. Okay. Pot calling the kettle black here. I get it. I'm a big fatty who's very fat. But my job isn't to look like a tough guy in a wrestling ring. My job is to teach people about the pro wrestling business. Eddie Kingston is fat. That's C. If he just lost some of the gut, he doesn't have to become jacked. He just needs to get that sort of barrel chest, not as pudge. Just bring it in. Bring it into like sub Cactus Jack territory. Eddie Kingston can be A tier, S tier, world title all day long. But he's C tier because it's a body business and his body is like my body and I don't work in a body business. But he's so fucking good at wrestling that on the strength of his fatness, he could still be there. Deanna Purrazzo. Look at that. She looks great. Cool. She passes the silhouette test, which means like even if they weren't there, you just kind of see their outline. Do you still know who that is? If you're just seeing them in Shoutout, look at that. Big frill, green. She's got a nice character, a color palette to her. Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Emi Sakura, B tier. Evil Uno. This is going to be hard for me to do. I love Evil Uno. He's a Chikara guy from way, way back in the day. He's an old school guy that likes wrestling when it's incredibly wacky. And I love it when wrestling is fucking wacky. And I love Evil Uno. But he's just not popular in the way that like Danhausen is. He doesn't resonate with the way that like Danhausen does. And while functionally they serve very similar positions as being like goofy, comedy, creepy guy, there isn't any more to Evil Uno like there is to Danhausen. And that's what puts them so far apart on the card. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna future endeavors Excalibur. This isn't personal. He is wearing a mask, which is a wrestler thing to do, like Angelico does, or Angelico. But he's wearing a suit, which is a staff thing to do, like Ian Riccani or Alex Martinez. And you need to pick a fucking direction. Wear the mask and then like a shirt or whatever, or wear the suit and drop the mask and wear like sunglasses or whatever. No. This is stupid. You are costing, you're be goofy or be serious. Don't try to mix it. It never blends well. It's like oil and water. No. But he is technically staff. You know what? That's so fixable. Okay, yeah, that's staff. First name, last name, D tier. Harley Cameron, lady wrestler. Looks kind of interesting. C. Hiraku Shida, C. Are we getting close to 15? See, 3, 6, 9, 12, 13. All right. So we get 2 more out, and that'll be 15. And we are going to be capping. I'm telling the truth. I ain't capping. But what I mean is we're going to be starting to max out our tiers, and we're going to start putting more people in future endeavors. Hologram. Just look at him. Looks like a Mortal Kombat character. I want to see that. I want to see that guy come out and do flips. I want to see him hold a microphone and say some stuff like, I'm going to eat pudding next week, or whatever he says, right? Yeah, cool. Hook. Napo babies, get your job because your dad was famous. Napo babies, you're pretty good, but everyone just says it. He's fine. Oh, Isaiah Cassidy. Isaiah Cassidy, you look neat, and you're holding a belt, and I don't know anything else about you. And if you watch 10 years of AEW, you probably won't know a whole lot more about Isaiah Cassidy either, because there's too many people and no one gets any screen time. 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. All right, so we're getting close to max. Jamie Hayter. Again, look, green, orange, we're color swapping them at even when this, and I know on your screen it's tiny, they are barely blots of color and they look great. Like they stand out, they punch right through the sort of visual noise that is Sweat Man standing aimlessly. So yeah, Jay White, he just got beat up. I know who he is. He's European though, so that's D tier. He's very European. Jerry Lynn. Jay Lethal. Jay Lethal cut the best promo in wrestling history, which is, second best. Jay Lethal's Ric Flair promo. You can go look it up. It's like TNA Jay Lethal Ric Flair promo. It's legendarily amazing. It's one of the funniest things you'll ever watch. It is why pro wrestling matters and what makes it hilarious as a format. Like, it's everything that pro wrestling operates under Dolomite rules, which are if you got a value for your money and you're going home happy and you're going to tell a friend that you had a good time and maybe they want to come back next time or start watching the show or buy the pay-per-view, then you did a successful show. And you can get there with comedy or drama or action or however you want to do it. And Jay is great at sort of inspiring Dolomite rules. I love Jay Lethal. Jeff Jarrett is he's a legend. He's Jeff Jarrett. He's not bad, but he's not doing. we just have so many old dudes already. Like, we got Edge, and we got Dustin Rhodes, and we got Christian. You know, Christian's over here, right? And we got Daniel Bryan, who is young relatively, but old in the scheme of how young this roster is. And we got Billy Gunn, and I don't need him on this roster. I just don't. John Silver, I'm going to put these bearded sweat men next to each other, and we will see how this becomes a problem later. Ooh, okay, look at this guy. I don't know who this is. Josh Woods. I know nothing about Josh Woods. I'm just going to put him in B tier on the grounds that I could probably teach him to cut a promo, and he looks cool as fuck. Big tattoo, screaming, jacked as shit. Look at him, he stands out. He's a character. Johnny TV. D tier. John Morrison is a phenomenally talented ring wrestler who looks cool. In 1997, he looks really cool. In 2010, he looks pretty reasonable. In 2023, he looks a little dated. And that's the nature of getting older. And I'm okay with that. And I think he's okay with that. And he's got a spot on the card. And he does good matches. Johnny TV. Don't want to get rid of him. Juice Robinson. Apparently he got hurt. But I know who Juice Robinson is. And again, looks cool. Has some glasses. Looks like he could be like a genie that you summon out of like a lamp for the making of the wish. You could wish not to have broke your foot. That's insensitive. I hope that Juice recovers well, that his injury is very minor. And I hope to see him used more. I was just cracking jokes. That's not in good taste for Juice Robinson. John Moxley, S tier, shouldn't have to explain that. John Moxley, if you were curious where the third member of the Shield has been, it's in AEW doing some of his best work ever, surrounded by geeks, just geeks, who are sabotaging this man's twilight years. He's got maybe 5 to 10 really good years left of like being able to go at the level he can go at. And he is surrounded by just fucking tool bags, and it's got to suck for him. The counterpoint is he's easily the best guy in the company. That's saying a lot. These are some top tier contenders here. Yeah, I'd love to see Mox. I want to see more Mox. Give me the Moxley. I have a sickness, and that disease can only be cured with John Moxley. Shibata? Katsubushi Shibata. Japanese man. That stands out. Staff. Camille. A tier. Again, lady wrestler. Striking physical presence. Not just standing aimlessly. She's got like a look. She's trying some stuff out. I don't know a whole lot about her. Karen Jarrett. I believe she's staff. The only reason I don't think she's going to get future endeavored is because just in order to keep the tier the way it is, we'll have to get rid of... Well, I think we'll be okay. All right. Keith Lee. Keith, B tier. The only difference between Keith Lee and Aaron Solo is that he is big and Aaron Solo is not big. And I think we just hit 15s. Hold on. 3, 6, 7, 9, 12. Yep, this is a maxed tier. This is 16, but remember Aubrey Edwards is getting a pass here. All right. Julia Hart. Oh, man. A tier. She just looks cool. Any lady wrestler that just stands out and looks really cool can go into higher tiers. Rainmaker. Okada. Okada came in from New Japan. Should be feuding with John Moxley. Is arguably one of the best workers they have on their fucking roster. These two guys right here don't touch each other. I don't know why not. Oh, John Moxley, you'd think. Darby Allin. Nope. Well, I think they're about to start working a program, but still, Kira Hogan. Kira regular, C tier. And she stands out a little. She's doing like a thing. She's got like her arm sort of orangey, but you got to pop. You got to have a little bit more to it. Hey, not mean about it. It's just, it is what it is. Okay. Kenny Omega goes in D tier, and I know. The reason Kenny goes in D tier is because he founded this company. Arguably, he is the reason it's so well regarded for match work. He is the beacon on the hill for like modern day high work rate wrestling. And he's an executive vice president at All Elite Wrestling. His fucking name is on checks, more or less, for people figuratively. He is a leader for what this company should aspire to do and who these people are. And he just returned from injury to a foreign company to put them over. He told his company that he helped found that they can go fuck themselves because he wants to wrestle in Japan for his return match. Then he told people in Japan that I've come home and New Japan is my home. And motherfucker, you helped build. I would future endeavors him personally for this kind of fucking level of disloyalty and insolence. But he can't because he's an EVP. So D tier. Kenny can be a world title and should be and can go anywhere in the world and win whatever belt he wants, but chooses not to work in AEW because he would be surrounded by geeks in a company he built. So fucking Kenny Omega. All right. Ooh, Killswitch. Big juiced up mask maniac. Okay. We were talking earlier about Kane. Killswitch is like Kane. This big, angry A tier, probably could get world title hot shotted to him and hold on to it for a little bit, but you know, Commander CB. Commander's very flippy. Okay. I think we've officially capped 3, 6, 9, 12, 13, 15, 16, 17. All right. With Commander can go to C tier. Nope. We're going to have to start moving people down. I don't know who you are. You can go to D tier. And this is 16. This is 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 16. Damn it. Okay, so we're going to have to start dropping people. Aaron Solo, bye. Future Endeavors. Action Andretti, Future Endeavors. Anthony Gogo will move you down 1, 3, 6. Actually, that should be about 15. Yeah, because B tiers. Yeah, okay. All right, good. Takashita holding a belt. Everyone says great stuff. I know who he is. He's a mid-card champion. Should be A tier, but our A tier's full. You can put a world title on Takashita. No problem with that. Kiss Statlander. Shit. We'll move her to D. And we will move Big Bill to fired. And again, Big Bill, Chris Statlander. I'm only keeping her around because I need more lady wrestlers for now, but that might change up. Hey, Kip Saban. I remember him. I used him in my last video, or stories video, 2 ago. I used him, so he can go to C tier. And R Fox can go to D tier. And Normal Man can go to Future Endeavors. All right, who we got here? Kyle Riley. We'll just put him right there. Moving right along. Kota Ibushi. If they have a foreign name, I know they're extra special. So Kota Ibushi, definitely we're going to do that. I don't know a whole lot about this guy. And there you go. Just sort of work that out. Kyle Fletcher. Okay. Everyone says Kyle Fletcher is the shit. I have not seen a whole lot of Kyle Fletcher matches personally. It's just missed me. But he looks like the default setting for create a wrestler. So I'm going to put him in C tier. Although I don't like it. And I'm going to move this Nepo baby to D tier. And I'm going to move this guy to Future Endeavors. We're just going to do that for now. All right. Lee Johnson. Don't have a lot of roster space for a guy that's not immediately striking. Ooh, Lee Murray. Okay, I just want to... He's not going to live here. I just want to show you real fast. Normal guy. Jacket, grill. Look at him. He's pointing. He's got stuff going on. This is a guy with character. This is a guy with panache. This is a guy trying to be something different. This is a guy I could put in A tier. And we will take Claudio to B tier. And we'll have to take Bandito. Oh, man, not Bandito. Take Keith Lee to D tier. And we'll take Anthony Ogogo to bye. There we go. That'll work out. Lance Archer. Man, he looks so cool. Look at him. He looks great. He just looks great. We're going to put him in C. We're going to find someone that looks generic and stupid. Alex Reynolds. There we go. Look. I mean, I don't know how much of a trade that really is, but it's the one we're going with. Oh, Lila Gray. Look, okay. If she doesn't botch, which is a problem you have to know about with lady wrestlers, we can swap her for Kiera Hogan. Look at that. She's got... Okay, Kira's just like, yeah, I got the attitude, but like, look at her. She got the hat. She's saluting. Her whole outfit is kind of themed. She's kind of setting like a tone here. Same with Sheeta, same with Cameron. They're trying to say something like at a second when you just stare at him with a glance. Hey, here's what sets us apart. And that is what you're trying to get. Lexi Nair, I don't know. But Brian Cutler can go. Okay, who's next? Layla Hirsch. I have no idea who this is. I don't need eeny, meeny, miny, mo. I have to let one of you go. If a tiger doesn't know, it's not personal. Luther. Oh, he follows around Tony Storm. So we'll just do that. Look at that. We're just cleaning up in here. I wonder how much money this would save the company. Like if you had to add up all the value of all these guys' contracts and put it together, I wonder how much money that is. All right, Madison Rain. Do I feel like I know her from somewhere? She reminds me of the Beautiful People. So she can go here because this guy doesn't need to go anywhere. Malachi Black, S tier. S tier. Malachi Black is fucking S tier. Holy shit, Malachi Black. Yes, I love spooky wrestlers. Obviously, we're noticing a trend of me putting spooky guys high on the thing. I get that. I am correct. But Malachi has the factor of like, he can sell the aura. He is a serious contender. He can do a good match. He has an interesting stable. Like, those are all the tools for a world title program. Fucking yeah. Yes, Malachi all day. Is this Tony Storm? Oh, it's Mariah May. Oh, dude, S tier. Yeah, Mariah May, she's great. I've not seen her wrestle. I don't know who Marina Shafir is. Oh, wait, is she she's been following around Jon Moxley. I don't know why. C tier. Ibushi can go to D tier. And R Fox can go to Future Endeavors. Oh, this is Briscoe. Okay, I saw Briscoe wrestle, and he's a crumb bum. He's a squirrely little raccoon man, and a total like tough as nails, gutter hardcore wrestler like Cactus Jack. He's awesome. He's a new young modern Cactus Jack. We love him. We're just gonna knock him down to D tier, and we're just gonna get rid of Colt Cabana. And I'm sorry, Colt. It's not personal. It's a little personal. That's not personal. This actually is entirely personal because I really like Jay White or Jay Lethal. And I think if you use him right, you can get a lot more out of him than if you use a Colt Cabana right. Because everyone's trying to use Colt Cabana right. And it doesn't seem to work. And Jay Lethal cuts memorable promos that 15 years later people still talk about. So that's fucking better than nothing. Okay, where are we at now? All right, where are we? Mark Davis. You know what? While he is a beardy sweat man, this beardy sweat man seems less interesting. So we're just going to go ahead. We're going to do that. And now we have to make this a little smaller because we are starting to fill up our tiers here with Future Endeavors. Okay, who's next? Mark Stevens. Oh, he's a guy? He's a guy. Oh, I got to move Kip Saban into D tier. Which means I got to get rid of Justin Dunn. Because I don't know anything about that guy. All right. Mark Owen. He's got a belt. But I don't know why. Why does he have a belt? Who is this guy? Who is he? He can sit in D tier. 3. But I'm going to have to pop a dude out. Hey, you know what? Evil Uno, I heard that they have room at Ring of Honor. And you can go wrestle there. Matt Leonard. Future Endeavored. Oh man, Matt Sydal. For those in the know, and this is just temporary. Matt Sydal is Evan Bourne, and he was fantastic, and he probably still is pretty good. The problem is everybody on the roster is good at flipping. So if his whole bit is I'm a flippy guy, he can flip his way to somewhere else. And I bet they would like to pay him a lot. I don't know who this is. I don't know anything about that guy. Matt Taven. Yeah, nope, sorry. Oh, is this the Bucks? D tier? But we have to get rid of this. You know what? We'll get rid of this guy. The Elite are the reason this series even exists. It's the reason they're desperate to pay somebody $250,000 a year to fucking beg craftsmen for money. The Elite are the cancer that's fucking this company up because Matt Jackson and the Bucks and Omega all think that like flips is wrestling. And saying flips is wrestling is like saying superheroes is comic books. You're not wrong to say it, but it's insulting to the medium to limit it to that. It's like saying that Marvel superheroes are movies. And I was like, well, there's other kinds of movies, and people who like movies want that other stuff also. So shut the fuck up. Please stop with what you're doing. It's clearly hurting your business and everybody that we're trying to get paid on this roster here. So that's D tier stuff. And learn, do better, you know. I get it. Oh, yeah. He's the rappy guy. We love rappy guys. He's got a thing. He can do raps. He raps like it's 2003. That's fine. Hologram, future endeavors. He looks cool. He's the first cool looking guy I had to do that to. Well, like the second, I guess, but all right. Mercedes Martinez. We'll put her here and we will take Dutton. We'll put him here. The only reason I don't future endeavors hook is because I'm pretty sure Tazwood could if you did that. Mercedes Moné. Okay. Theoretically, she's an S tier character. In reality, she's kind of like C tier. But the thing is, she's the highest paid woman wrestler of all time, which makes her A by default, but she is straight up getting carried. And that's a real bummer. And so, like, again, you know, we have limits to how many people we can put on this roster. So, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. Yeah. So we have limits to what we can have here. And as we start to put these people in, you're going to see just that there are limits. Like, I'm not being a dick, right? This up here is damn near 75. I think it's like 71. So it's going to be a problem. It's going to get worse as things go on. Mike Bennett, I don't know who you are, but you know what? You look better than Jay White. And in my mind, you do the same thing. Ref, that's great. Oh, is this Miro? Are they ever going to put him on TV again? But okay, look, right. Beardy Screamy Man. Miro's an actual draw, which means he does have to be in B tier by virtue of drawing, but he doesn't ever want to come on TV. I'm a professor, so this is an academic perspective. Academically, you put Miro on, and then you take this Josh Woods guy and you stuff him down there. From the practical standpoint of like backstage dynamics, Miro might be better off getting future endeavored if there's friction. But if we're going to switch, assuming there isn't, and we are doing an academic exercise here, we have to get rid of somebody. I'm going to get rid of Johnny TV. MJF, world title. He is... There we go. Scroll up. MJF is a world champion. MJF is the reason you can build a brand around MJF. He is the best character worker in their roster, bar none. If there is a successor to the idea of Chris Jericho, it is MJF. And I couldn't be more happy that he's an AEW and that he's an AEW loyalist. He's everything the company needs. Keep him in the world title hunt. Keep him in the main event. He's fantastic. No notes. Mother Wayne. Is she from a thing? Is she on a thing? She looks kind of cool. She seems old. We'll just sort of do... Well, I have to pick between these two. Cause I'm trying to trade out ladies for ladies. I think that's fair. I don't even know how many are totally on this, but she seems older. So we're going to do this. I just think we're going to end up with more spooky people as times go on. All right. Who's next? Mr. Brody Lee Jr. Mr. Brody Lee, future endeavors. Mr. Brody Lee. Oh. For those of you that might not know, Brody Lee did pass. So it does sadden me. Honorarily, he probably, pay the estate, do what you can, support the family if applicable. I understand the situation that we're all in, losing somebody, and it is tragic. Empirically, if they are dead, you probably should not have them on your roster due to the fact that they are a corpse. So we're going to have future endeavors, Mr. Brody Lee, for the horrendous crime of not being alive currently. So that's just what that is. Okay. MVP. Oh, MVP. Okay. MVP is A tier. His roster is with Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin. So let's move Kill Switch down to C. B. Put Claudio down in C. And we will take Lance Archer, who I know nothing about. Oh, you know what? Because we're going to have to switch between Lance Archer and Bishop Khan. They're both kind of grimy. They're both kind of beardy. They're both kind of long, hairy. He's got tattoos and he's got like a jacket. Jackets are no longer acceptable for primary. Okay. That's Nick Jackson. This is the Bucks. D tier. Fuck you guys. You're a blight on the industry. You're the reason Cody Rhodes left the company. You're the reason CM Punk refuses to work in your business. You are working the mark that is Tony Khan, and you have 3 years left on this sinking ship that you fucking drilled a bunch of holes in. I hope deeply that you get your comeuppance as karma happens to do that. I don't think it ever is going to happen, and it pains me greatly to know that when this is all done and ashed and dead and buried, that the Young Bucks will just go to New Japan and keep wrestling and be just fine. And that sucks. And they're only on D tier because they have to be, which means Jay Lethal has to be future endeavored. And that is whatever. I future endeavored people I like more than Jay Lethal, but it's a shame. It is a shame. People, you know what? People give Tony Khan so much shit, like it's entirely his fault. As somebody who was in a Tony Khan style position years ago in working with promoters and working with wrestlers and trying to spin up a promotion, I can tell you right now, there are people that we are looking at that are straight up working Tony for paychecks. And I don't know who they are or what's going on, but I know for fucking sure it's the Bucks. They are squeezing Tony. They don't give a shit about this company getting over. They don't give a shit about anybody here making money. They don't care if AEW's in business fucking tomorrow or if it fucking falls apart next week. They'll go wrestle in New Japan like Kenny Omega did. They'll go back to their gay little fucking YouTube show and pretend this never happened. And if anybody asks, like, oh, well, you what? Tony Khan was the boss. Your job is executive vice president. At some point, you have a responsibility to lead this locker room and this company, and you are actively fucking torpedoing it. It's just, this is why wrestlers don't start wrestling organizations and why when they try it always stinks. Nick Kimura, you're just a hairy man with foldy arms. Normal man, foldy arms. Man, we are future endeavoring a lot of people here. Well, you know what? There's a lot of people to future endeavor, so that's going to happen. Nigel McGuinness. I think he's staff, so I'll put him there. Nyla Rose. Okay. In an hour-long video full of hot wrestling takes, here's the thing. We are segregating wrestling by gender, And Nyla Rose belongs to a demographic that, if you pander to them, has never once ever ended up being profitable for any company that has ever pandered them to, and has only, in its best case, served to be benign, and in its worst case, has become an active liability. I'm sure Nyla Rose is a nice person. I am sure they are a tremendous in-ring talent because they are on the AEW roster, and you don't get there by having bad matches. That being said, it's a risk. It's a risk far more than it's a reward, and there isn't a reward for taking on that risk. So it's strictly for that reason that Nyla Rose needs to be future endeavored. All right, moving right along. Orange Cassidy, fucking A tier. I just saw his match with Jon Moxley. Orange Cassidy's gimmick is that he doesn't have one. His bit is that he's too cool for any of this, and it's just fun. He's fun. If you want wrestling to just be fun, Orange Cassidy is fun. The downside is that he is not serious. And not being serious does kind of hurt him a little, as far as like whether or not you could put him in the world title scene. But I don't want him to be serious. I want him to be fun. So we're going to leave him there, and we're going to move Jamie Hayter. I'm going to leave a luchador in every tier because I like them. So we're going to move Jamie Hayter down to B, and we're going to move Adam Cole Bebe to C, where we are going to move this guy in the suit to staff. And I'm just going to hope that he belongs there. Although I feel like I'll be corrected that that's not the case. All right, who's next? Ortiz. All right, light bit of roasting. Ortiz looks like he was about to audition for West Side Story and walked into a wrestling ring. It's whatever. Oh, Pac. Oh, okay, yeah. Pac and Kyle Fletcher, and Kip Sabian, sorry, are the same thing to me. So we'll just go ahead and we'll do that because we have a roster member we're trying to max here. Pat Buck is staff. Pam Turner is staff. Penta Romero is technically like A or world title tier, but I believe he got future endeavored anyway. Future endeavored himself. Paul Wright, the Big Show. Big Show's great. Total legend. Will go down in history as the best, if not the best big man to ever step foot in the ring. He can't really wrestle anymore, and that's just age. It's a hard industry. It takes a toll on your body. Big Show's very big. Takes a toll on Paul's body. It's just the nature of the beast here. I'm not sure what the Big Show adds to AEW other than a paycheck every month they have to pay out. And that's someone who could collect a Legends contract tomorrow. Penelope Ford has a name that's very hard to say, but she's getting TV time, so we'll take this and we'll do that. I would like Penelope Ford's name to be better. I'd like it to be a little cleaner. It's just a lot of syllables. You want to clean that up a little bit. Peter Avalon, Peter Future Endeavored. I've heard such good things about Powerhouse Hobbs, and I only need one huge guy in D tier. So Keith Lee can go ahead and get that. Preston Vance. I have no idea who. I've never heard anything about this. I don't know why Prince Nana needs to be paid to show up to work. Prince Nana, for those of you who are not in the know, you will see him toadying around for Swerve Strickland. Like a lot, too. Prince Nana and Swerve is like Swerve's manager, except he doesn't talk and Swerve does talk, and Prince Nana does like a dance. I would future endeavors Prince Nana, and if Swerve wants to pay him out of his salary, fucking go nuts, dude. But like, he doesn't need to exist. No, thank you. Queen Aminata, yeah, look at her. She looks great. She looks younger than Mother Wayne. I don't know if that's true, but she's got like a look to her. She's got like a vibe going on. We can take of 3 women that are just standing there, arms crossed. We'll get rid of this one because she doesn't have a tiara. And yeah, you know what? I am sorry that it's that light. But remember, we have a 75-person roster here. Right? This is a lot of people. This is a lot of people, okay? And in theory, these are full-time rostered employees. These are people that are going to be working on multiple shows per month, if not per week, or, you know, you're going to see them a lot. They're going to be doing stuff. Yeah. Okay? Like, I'm sorry. Right? There's tons of faces here, and if I don't know all of them, then I don't know all of them. All right, Rebel. Oh, I like Rebel. She has a fun... Okay, so this is the thing. Rebel. 2 syllables. Great. Easy to say. Stands out. Penelope Ford. These are basically the same thing. You could say, well, I like Penelope, and you don't understand Rebel, and she's a jobber, and I got to tell you, I don't care. This is a tier list of 200 some odd people, and some of them just need to be future endeavored. We've set limits, and the limits are what the limits are. Like, I'm sorry, I didn't make the rules here. I mean, I did make them, and they are arbitrary, but they're arbitrary for a reason, so we're going to try to stay within these guidelines. Red Velvet, she looks cool. How many women do we have on the roster right now? I'm not trying to be a dick. I'm just going to count ladies. So we got, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11... 12, 13, 14, so we got 16, 17, 18, 19. So we are, okay, we can afford to have a few more. We got to cut a non-lady if we're doing this. Oh, shit, who are we going to cut? You know what? Crimea River. We have to cut Screamy Beard Guy. You know what? We'll just cut the dude who follows the other lady around. We don't need people who just follow people around all day. Well, not if the person you're following around can cut promos, right? You want to follow Killswitch around and cut promos because he's a jungle dinosaur, go nuts. I think she's staff. I don't know if that's true. Ray Phoenix, I'm pretty sure he's also future endeavored, but like out of spite. It's a very stupid situation. I'm not really going to dig into it. Ricky Starks. Everybody tells me Ricky Starks is A tier. So that's where I'm going to put him. But we got to take someone out. As far as I care, these 2 people are the same. And he is holding a belt, which means he looks more interesting than Kyle Fletcher. He's going to get moved to D, where we are going to push out Bushi. Because I don't know anything about Japanese wrestlers. Other than Tajiri, who is cool. Everyone loves Tajiri. Ricochet gets into fights on Twitter and does a lot of flips. Welcome to the entire AEW locker room all the time. But here's the thing. I am going to do that. Ooh, sneaky. That's right. I traded out one smark dipshit for another smark dipshit. With the difference being that Ricochet looks great and does good flips. Adam Cole, baby, I think has a video game stream. Good for him. Good for him. I don't care. Riho, oh, look at her. She's got like a coat. She looks great. This is what I mean. I'm generic curator wrestler, man. She's got like outfit. She's trying. She's doing stuff. We have to get rid of somebody. So I'm sorry. And if Taz gets mad, you know what? We only have so many spots, right? And we're gonna have to start. We're making like look, okay, look. I know you didn't like me doing that. I know I didn't like me doing that, but you got to do it. Oh, okay. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. And I'm sorry. Ruby Soho, she was a big deal in WWE. She was a great up-and-comer for NXT, and she was going to be showcased a lot. Goes to AEW, doesn't get used because we have people like Dustin Rhodes on the roster just wasting everyone's time. I don't know who Rush is. So he can be over there. Who are you? Sammy Guevara. I've seen you cut maybe one promo. I don't know. You're just man. I'm like, okay. Here's the part where you go, wait, no, but I'm over. But like, look at it. Look at me from my perspective as Joe Casual audience. I see Aaron Solo. I see Action Andretti. I see Big Bill. I see Sammy Guevara. How am I supposed to know anything is different about any of these guys? They're just standing there. They're just standing there. Samoa Joe. Oh, shit, dude. Joe's going to kill you. Joe's going to kill you. Yeah. Joe's like they're Triple H. And I don't mean that like to talk about like the burial or whatever. It's like a little older, a little wiser, a little scarier. He's got that kind of like I've been around the block vibe, like Joe Moxley, world title guys. Man, this roster's filling up, and we have. Oh, we're getting close! Hooray! Santam Singh. Oh, he is staff. I do know that. She is staff. Well, that's good. Oh, Paige. Soraya used to be Paige. That is a world title talent. She's had a movie. She can cut them up. I don't know how good she can wrestle. Like, I know she got hurt. I'm not here to be like, her matches are bad. Again, if you're in AEW, it's assumed you can have a great match. But what I mean is I've heard that she was like the last of the bad lady wrestlers. I don't know if that's true. I don't know a whole lot else about her. I'm not trying to be mean. We're just going to put Scorpio Sky. Again, man standing. I don't know nothing. I've never heard anything. And at the end, we're going to wrap this up, and I'm going to explain sort of a thing maybe you didn't realize about why I'm more right in this tier list than you are. And it's going to hurt your feelings a little bit. So we put Serena Deeb over here. We're going to take Claudio. We're going to move him to D tier, and we are going to take this guy. We're just going to do that. Claudio has name recognition, but that's about it. What's his merch? Hey, Castagnoli. I'm Castagnoli, the only one buying this t-shirt. Serpentico. I'm going to put him in B tier because I like him more than Bandito. And they look very similar, but he's got a cool name and a fun face. And we have a tight roster, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Bandito. I'm sorry, man. You had a cool name. You have a cool mask. I bet you could write. Something tells me that Bandito doesn't speak English well. That's going to be a problem. Sean Dean. Goodbye. Shelton Benjamin. The gold standard. That's the whole Pain Syndicate, and we put him in A. We'll move Jericho to C, and we will take Adam Copeland, and we will put him in future endeavors. Because Edge needs to do more things than just be Edge. That's what Christian is doing currently, so that's why we like having Christian around. He could be a part of a trio if we're going to use ex-WWE guys like the Hurt Syndicate, or he can have one last world title run like John Moxley if he can still go. But Edge has gotten hurt a lot, so it's no secret that Edge might not be able to go as hard or as long as like a Jericho can. And again, we're not making cuts because we hate these guys. We're making cuts because we don't have room. It just doesn't fit, and that becomes a problem. Hey, look, it's Sky Blue. Plat. Rebel? Sure. I guess. Sanjay Dutt, I'm pretty sure he's staff. And good for him. Sanjay's had a bajillion good matches. Sting is a multi-millionaire that's 1 billion years old. Sorry, no, don't need it. I'm pretty sure this guy is staff. Swerve. I was looking for Swerve. All right, yes. That's it. That's your main event. Look at these guys. Look at this fucking hitters. There is IMO maybe one possible controversial pick in here in Danhausen. I've made my case for Danhausen. We could bump him down for sure, but right now I think that there's room for a world title Danhausen. But maybe I'm just kind of a stan. Taymelo, Taya Valkyrie. Oh, Taya Valkyrie has a cool sounding name, and she's yellow. I like that. That's a color. Colors are good. Names are cool. Who can get rid of? We gotta cut somebody for this yellow lady. She's very yellow. Can we go into D tier? Is there any room in D tier? I could cut Mike Bennett, I guess. Do I want to cut Mike Bennett? I feel like I know him. He's an undisputed. People talk about the undisputed. You know what? I'll put him up, and I will take this Jack Yelling Man, Josh Woods. And that's what we're doing there. All right. Taz. It's Taz. I don't know if Taz has ever really been that much of a, say it, Beast Mortos. Man, he was just doing Continental Classics. He looks cool as fuck. I love him. We'll put him in C tier. Put him in D tier. And then we are gonna cut Mark Bennett. Oh, man. He avoided so many rounds of cuts. Who's this guy? The Blade? No, thank you. The Butcher? I guess. Look, okay. Real talk, I believe these guys are a tag team. I like tag teams as much as the next guy. You know what? I can get rid of Brody King, and I can get us The Butcher, because that name sounds cool as fuck. And then let's get rid of Bishop Khan, and let's give us the Blade. Okay. I'll come back to why that's a good idea at the end. We're just going to power through this, though. So we got a few left. We're just going to get through them. Thunder Rosa! Thunder Rosa. I like Thunder Rosa. She's a fucking dope-ass world champion, and she doesn't have a drug problem like Saraya does. But I'm going to keep her around because people know who Paige is. But we're going to have to cut somebody. Sky Blue. Sure. No, her name sounds great. She's got a great name. Layla Hirsch. There we go. We're just cutting. We're trimming fat. And we're going to, again. So, okay, why did we do that? Why did we cut Layla Hirsch and not Sky Blue? It's a game of inches. Because there's so many talents here that you might not know everybody unless you're a giant dork. If I'm a general audience, I fucking definitely don't know anybody. So I need to be able to be memorable in a second. This is coming down to very niche things. Do you have a name that people can remember? Are you recognizable in a silhouette? In this packed screen of faces that you guys are seeing right now, can you really point someone out and go, I know exactly who that is? Maybe Danhausen, because he's got such a color contrast, and I've talked about him a lot. But realistically, it's these bright shocks of color that pop out. And so if you're not shocking out with color, you have to look different. And so we're just trying to, at a glance, what's memorable and who do we know? If I don't know these guys exactly or off the top of my head, maybe they're not worth knowing. Like Toa Leona. I'm not trying to hurt the guy's feelings. Tony Storm. Oh, she had a huge run. She looks cool. She's black and white. Love that. That's here. Which means, okay. All right, so we're going to have to move Athena down. I like Athena. We'll move Britt Baker down. We'll move Britt Baker to A. And we are going to take... We don't really have anyone in A we can get rid of. Oh, we do. Aw, man. Dralistico. You know what? You got to make the hard choices sometimes. And that's a hard choice. I don't like doing that either. I think it's cool to have a Dralistico. Tony, who are you? Tony Nice. Oh, he's staff. Okay, so it's cool. I don't have a problem. Tony Schiavone. We love Tony Schiavone. Trent Beretta. I'm pretty sure he's staff. If he's a wrestler, okay, I guess. Vincent. Vincent. He looks cool. He's got like a vibe, man. He's got like this whole like flower child, Manson party vibe. But here's the thing. Can he work better matches than Claudio? Can he have a more commanding presence than Powerhouse? Does he aspire fear the way that Mortis is? Can you tell stories around him the way you can about Kyle Fletcher? I don't know if any of that's true. And if you move him up a tier, you're back into this, like, I guess maybe you get rid of Shibata. Because, like, I'm trying to sell a TV show to Americans, and Americans can totally vibe with, like, a Manson cult, flower powered, acid trip bad guy, and not Japanese man. I mean, don't get me wrong, I was probably more of a weeb than most people, but, like, still. Oh, the Wardlow. Okay, look, I'm gonna be real. People on the internet are saying Wardlow has cooled off. So that's where we're going to leave him. Because if you know who Braun Breaker is, then you understand that when you're doing a jacked muscle guy, you kind of have to be like crazy muscle guy. And we have a Brian Cage who's like crazy jacked muscle guy. And then if you're going to be like mid-tier crazy jacked muscle guy, look, it's Miro, who we're paying a fucking premium to have on, and in theory will wrestle as crazy jacked muscle guy. But maybe you want to have that like athlete intensity. You got Bobby Lashley. Oh, you got Powerhouse Hobbs. And if you want to have these guys just go have big meaty men slapping meat fest, slap fest, we've got them all. We can put them in a roster with each other. It's not. It was one of those things where it might be a good move to cut the entire Pain syndicate, like the whole Hurt syndicate, just to save space. Just cut them, and then we can put some more cool guys in the roster that are younger, that are hotter, that we can do stuff with. Because not being able to have like Wardlow does suck. Oh, you know what? Fuck, we'll get rid of you. I don't need flippy generic man. At least if I'm getting a guy, I already have like a bajillion flippy dudes. Give me a Jack Beefcake. Hell yeah. Wheeler Yuta. I have seen him follow around Jon Moxley. I'm not sure the purpose of him following around Jon Moxley. But we can do what with Wheeler? Well, he follows around, him and Pac are following around Jon Moxley, and they're doing cool stuff. And this is Jon Moxley's like little crew of derpy cronies. So we will bump Beast Mortos to C tier and get rid of Commander. Sure. I have seen Commander do some really cool stuff, so that's kind of a bummer. It might, you know what? It might be better to cut Ricochet and put Commander in that spot. And again, we're going to talk a little bit about factions and tag teams. Will Ospreay is A tier. Everyone loves Will Ospreay. Everyone talks about how great he is. So I gotta bring a guy out. We could bring Cash Wheeler and Dax Hardwood down, but then we have to get rid of two other guys. I could bring Juice Robbins. I could bring this guy, Lee Moriarty. I could bring him down to B. And I can get rid of Serpentico? Am I about to... No, wait. Isaiah Cassidy. Yeah. There we go. I found a loophole. Look, I'm going to keep Serpentico. Fuck you. I have heard Willow's great. Willow! I have heard she's amazing. So we're going to get rid of Serena Deeb. Just trading them out. Okay. And Yuka Sakazaki. I'm not trying to call her Yuki Suzuki to be a dick. Just Yuka Sakazaki. All right. Okay. So that gives us one extra there. Yellow or easy. I can always color her hair something more interesting, and it's just a numbers game. Okay. There is the definitive AEW. Let me get this back up. There is the definitive AEW tier list for 2025. Get ready to watch on Max. Now you know who to look out for, who's going to be in the world title spot, who you're going to see around a lot, who you'll know are the big up-and-comers. Serpentico is not that, but Wardlow is totally B tier. There we go. All right. Who you're going to see put some other guys over, who probably will be around but maybe shouldn't be for a lot longer, and then guys you're going to see. And then the rest of this is just garbage. If you see any of these people on the screen, they don't matter. Fuck them. They're unimportant. Now, one of the things I said earlier we're going to touch on is why we did stuff with like tag teams. The thing that we're struggling against in a wrestling organization with the format of pro wrestling is time. Not just the time of the show, but the time to film the show, like to air it. Like in order to have a pro wrestling show, you don't usually own the arena. So you kind of have to like get someone else to give you space, whether that's renting an arena, a soundstage, a convention center, what have you. And when you're doing that, you're kind of limited by time. Time is a fucking problem. So you want to make sure that wrestlers not only have time for themselves to shine, but have time for the audience to get to know them and identify with them. If I'm watching AEW right now and we'll come down here and we'll say Kiera Hogan. I might personally like her. She could be my favorite wrestler. But if she's on one match every 6 fucking months, because there's so many people, I never get to see Kira Hogan. I never get to cheer for Kira Hogan. I never get to bring my friends to see Kira Hogan. I can't buy Kira Hogan shirts. They won't make a Kira Hogan action figure because they don't know that I like her because she's never fucking on TV. Now, because of that limitation, anytime we can showcase more than one person for a reason, we are giving the audience more time with those characters, right? So the Hurt Syndicate is 3 guys that tend to do stuff together. So if I see a Shelton Benjamin or a Bobby Lashley, I'm going to see MVP. I'm going to think Hurt Syndicate. And this is going to help them be more of a package deal, which means in the same 10 minutes I get to have a singles match between Shelton Benjamin and, Anthony, Bowens here. If I want to have these 2 guys in a match for whatever reason, like it's the Continental Classic, I get to see all of MVP plus him and Daddy Ass and Max Caster as the Acclaimed. And now we used the same 10-minute time for a one-on-one to showcase 6 people. And because we have a trios or tag division, we can build another feud out of that. This is a really efficient use of our time. And that is something we're trying to do. We want to be really efficient in the way we use our time and how we showcase our characters and make sure that we're able to put them on TV as much as possible so people can identify with them. That is how we build new characters and new stars. And that'll draw eyes to the product, and that'll draw word of mouth about the product. And once we're doing that, we are getting more people on board, and we're going to start selling more merch. What kind of merch we're going to sell? We got to fix that next. So, as of this episode, this class on fixing AEW's roster, the roster tier list, we just future endeavored. Let's see, it's 15. This is 15, right? It's 18 times 4. It's 40 plus 8 times 4, 30, 72? 74? 76, I want to say. Well, no, it's 8 times 4. It's 32 plus 40. Yeah, 72. We just future endeavored 80 people. And even if you're paying these guys $100,000 a year, I just put $8 million into Tony Khan's pocket. That's what I did. I wonder what the fucking Bucks have ever done. Did they just give Tony Khan $8 million? Did Kenny Omega give Tony Khan $8 million? I just gave Tony Khan $8 million. I just gave him $8 million. I said, hey, Tony, here's $8 million, right? Here's a reason why you should have this $8 million. I want you to have $8 million, Tony Khan. I would love to give you $8 million. Now, you can pay me $250,000. That seems reasonable. That seems reasonable. For $7.7 million, you gotta give me a couple $250,000. That seems reasonable. It's fine. It's fine. Okay. All right. Thank you, class, for watching.